favourite thing. Who are you? Don't need to answer it, it's a rhetorical question. Who are you? What's your story? What's your essence? What's your, I said earlier, vavavum? What makes you different from everybody else sat in this room? And it's the seamlessness about who you are, so that when somebody asks you a question about your experience and then give an example about how you work with that team and how you dealt with that issue and how you achieved all those things and what your greatest challenges are and how you deal with these type of people, it's the seamlessness between your very essence. And if any of you have ever worked in marketing or with brands, it's effectively what's your brand. That's what I'm saying to you. What does it say on your tin? Now, are you a Monson person? Do you do exactly what it says on the tin? What is it? What's your essence? And you kind of need to know this, because if you're not true to it, it will leak from you. What's your story? Which is all about this. Do you have one? And that could be the thing that stands you out from everybody else, and you need to know what it is to be you. That's kind of quite deep, right? And people are going, it's an interview, I don't need to bare my soul. I'm not saying bare your soul. I'm saying you need to know. They don't need to know, you need to know. What's your personality? And it's really good, you can start building this into a metaphor, you can start to build it into a story that comes through everything that you say. So you might say to someone, you know what, I'm like a loyal dog. As an example, you might not like that one. I'm like a dog after a bone. That might be another one. When I get given something to do, I do it right to the very end. Yeah, or once I start working for an organisation, I'm absolutely totally utterly committed. I'm like electricity. Everywhere I've ever worked, everything I've ever done, I've brought a sense of energy and vibe through the organisation. What's yours? What's yours? What's your bit? The thing that stands you out. What's your story? I'm not saying go away and write a story about your life, but just kind of think about all the things that you've done. So mine, if you want it, is people. Everywhere I go, everything I've ever done from the age of 16 has been with people. Actually, I didn't know that until I was 26. Bit older than that then. Okay? But that's my story. And you need to know what yours is, because it will permeate from you. So like that's nice, it's a picture of thread. And what I'm trying to say to you is it's the connection, it's the thread, it's the seamlessness that sews you together. Okay? So I was working with a guy once who was going for an interview. He wanted to go and be the head teacher of a set of international schools called King's College, if you're interested. And he was up against 5 other people. He hadn't worked for the last 3 years because he'd chosen to stay home and look after his children while his wife worked. And we sat and had a conversation about what was his story. And he was kind of really worried, right? Because he was saying, well, I've been out of work for 3 years, I've been looking after the kids, and that might not be seen as a particular skill, because I've just been at home looking after the kids, and we had this conversation. Well, actually, I never had a conversation, I asked those questions. It was generally very annoying because I made him think, okay, about stuff. And his message, his story, which came out, was about electricity. And he wanted to bring a sense of electricity to the school, and he wanted to kind of do some stuff with solar power and solar panels and recharge and keep the old and bring in the new and whatever it is. His seamless story came out at the end of it. And the thread for him, I'm just giving you an example, was electricity. What's yours? What's the bit that hangs all the jobs that you've done, all the experience that you have together? It's a bit like being stuck in a lift. There's a great American phrase called an elevator pitch. And it's being stuck in a lift with someone for a minute and being able to say in an instant what it is that you do and how beneficial it will be to them. What's your pitch? What's the bit that links? I've kind of got that. I feel like I've been going all that way, but you've all been giving me. So I've been reading the room. Okay, everyone's been going, oh, this bit's really interesting. So I've kind of stayed there for a while. You need to know. And a really good way to find out is to ask your friends. Tell me about me. Get some feedback. And they're good friends, they'll tell you.